Hey guys, Angus here. Today we've got the video review of the TSD/HFC M166 or USP gas blowback airsoft pistol. Alright, now the first question a lot of you guys are probably asking is where can I purchase this gun? Well, there's a link down below in the description to airsoftstation.com, our sponsor, where you can buy the gun for about $73, which is quite a good deal in my opinion for this little pistol. Now, I got this thing second-handed, therefore I don't have any of the original packaging or any of the original included accessories, but I can tell you the gun won't come in a standard little cardboard and styrofoam box. It actually comes in a nice hard carrying case. It is if you buy the TSD version, which is the one we're reviewing here, and also the one sold in Airsoft Station. So right away, you get the nice carrying case for storage purposes and also taking the gun safely to games. Inside the carrying case, you'll get your standard accessories, your gun manual, a little bag of BBs, you know, the usual stuff. Overall, the packaging is pretty nice when you buy your gun from TSD, especially when they give you that nice quality hard carrying case. Now, moving a little bit more in depth, let's talk about the gun itself and its external construction. For $73, I think you get a very good deal externally. The slide is composed of metal, as are the iron sights on top of it. Other metal pieces on the USP include your trigger, your mag release, your slide release, your selector switch, as well as a large majority of your magazine, but we'll cover the magazine a little bit later in this review. There are some plastic pieces externally. Your whole lower frame and pistol grip are composed of probably an ABS plastic. It's certainly a nice quality plastic, doesn't feel cheap at all, really fits well with the metal. You get a good mix of plastic and metal on the gun. Overall, the pistol is very, very comfortable. I have to say the texture on the grip makes it very comfortable to hold, to aim, really feels nice in your hands. I think the USP is a great and very comfortable handgun. The gun is bare of any trademarks, however, on the right side, very, very tiny, you have Made in Taiwan engraved into the side of the frame. Not exactly the prettiest thing to have on there, but hey, at least they tried to make it discreet. It's rather small. Now, internally, I've never had issues with HFC pistols. I think they're very good budget pistols, and the USP shown here certainly isn't any exception. It has overall decent gas efficiency. You can probably get maybe 3 or 4 mags that have each gas fill, so you do get a good gas efficiency out of this gun. Also, the parts are pretty sturdy. However, if they do break, repair parts are available. So if you need to replace something, replacement parts, you can go ahead, buy them, repair, and upgrade this gun. Alright, now a fairly obvious fact about this USP is that it is a gas blowback pistol, in case you couldn't tell by the title up above the video. Now what blowback means is that when you pull the trigger, as opposed to having a non-blowback gun where the slide is fixed, doesn't move, on blowback, the slide comes back just like a real pistol. It's a little bit more realistic and, let's be honest, a lot more fun to shoot than your typical fixed slide non-blowbacks. More airsofters tend to prefer these for the realism and the coolness, as I just stated. Now, this pistol uses basically your standard gas system. In order to bring the first BB into the chamber, you do have to make sure your slide is cocked back like so. When your slide's cocked back, your hammer's down, a BB's in the chamber, and you are capable of firing the gun. Alright, now hopping straight into the gun's features here, a very important one, not only on this pistol, but really on all pistols, at least in my opinion, would be the gun's magazine. So I'm going to choose to start off with that one. Now, the included magazine is, of course, stored in the grip. That's where most of your weight is located when the magazine is in. When the mag's out, most of your weight is upward in the slide, where the metal pieces are, basically. In order to eject the mag, your mag release is ambidextrous, being located not only on the right side of the gun, but also the left side. The mag release is a small sort of push-down lever located on the back of the trigger guard. When you push it down, the mag simply pops out, so be prepared to catch it. As I mentioned earlier, the majority of your magazine is composed of metal. Basically, the entire portion that's going to be holding and running the gas is composed of metal. However, there are 2 plastic pieces on this magazine. The lower portion here, which I believe is actually removable, is composed of a cheaper plastic. The other and most cheapest plastic part on the magazine is its lip. As you can see, the lip is cracked on the mag, and both magazines that I got with this USP, the lips were cracked. What that shows me is that the plastic the magazine lip is made of is extremely cheap, and these mag lips are prone to breaking. That is a huge con, and I hate that when the mag lips are plastic because they almost always crack. And what happens then? No BBs will go in this magazine. The entire video here, I've been dry firing. And that really sucks, because if these break, you can't use your pistol in an actual game. You can just shoot it for fun. Luckily, the mag lips are replaceable. They're only about $5 parts, but still, the fact that they're made of such cheap plastic is a really big con for me. Overall though, the magazine is fairly nice. It holds 18 rounds. In order to load up the mag, you simply push down the spring as you would on any other pistol magazine. You do have to hold it down manually, nothing holds it for you. Once you have it held down, simply drop your 18 BBs in. I'd recommend .25, so the best accuracy in this pistol. But overall though, biggest con of the magazine would be the fact that those lips are made of such cheap plastic. Also, this mag kind of leaks. The other one's alright, but this magazine does indeed leak, so watch out for that as well. When you've loaded up your mag, simply snap it back into the gun, like so, and you're ready to go. Alright, now a pretty cool feature of this HFC USP, and basically all your other gas blowback pistols out there, is a functioning slide lock. This is a realistic feature, and it also allows you to know you're out of ammo. You don't have to pull the trigger again just to find out no BB came out. This locks back when you run out of ammo in your magazine and alerts you that it's time to switch out mags, or perhaps switch to a different gun if you don't have any other spare magazines for the USP. As you can see, when the slide locks back, I actually think it makes the pistol look pretty cool. It reveals your metal outer barrel, which as you can see doesn't have any threads, unfortunately. In order to release the slide from its locked position, press in on the slide lock or slide release located on the left side of the gun. When you push downward, the slide will fly forward like so. However, if you pull the trigger again, the slide will simply lock back because, well, it's out of ammo still. Now, a few times throughout this video, and that one instance there, you guys have probably heard this USP fire on full auto. That's because the gun doesn't only shoot semi-automatic. It is also capable of going full auto and firing at a rate of fire of around 1,100 rounds per minute on a warm day. Now, in order to change your different settings, the gun does have a fire selector switch, and it's located on the back of the pistol frame. It's a small metal piece you can easily move around with your fingers. The fire settings on the selector are as follows. When the selector switch is angled slightly towards the ground and also on the bright white letter S, the weapon is on safe. The slide can still be cocked back and the trigger can still be pulled. However, when the trigger is pulled, the gun will not fire. If you were to switch the selector so that it is facing directly back towards the shooter and also on the bright white letter F, the weapon is on semi-automatic. Naturally, on semi-automatic, the gun will fire 1 BB each time the trigger is squeezed. If you were to flip the selector down to the final setting, where the switch is angled slightly towards the sky and on the bright white letters FA for full auto, naturally the weapon is on full auto. As I mentioned earlier, this weapon is capable of shooting around the 1,100 rounds per minute area on full auto. The selector isn't tough, and it's actually quite easy to move. You just have to apply a little bit of pressure. Not too much pressure that it's very, very tough, and certainly not too little pressure that this could easily slip around just from the slide's recoil. I really like the capability this gun has of going full auto. That way I can engage multiple targets, and also say I'm in CQB, round a corner, I can just take a blast of full auto, maybe get the 3 guys who are standing there out. However, one con of the full auto, it tends to make players want to shoot their gun on full auto a lot more. And with a weapon shooting around the 1,100 rounds per minute area, an 18-round magazine isn't going to last very long. Alright, now pretty obviously, your gun is going to have iron sights, and of course this USP is no exception. The iron sights in this gun are actually pretty nice. From the couple shots I got in before the mag lips broke, I found out the weapon is actually fairly accurate, and the iron sights are pretty accurate to the gun. Your rear sight, pretty simple. I just call it the pyramid sight. What it basically is 2 blocks with a large slit in it to line up with your front sight post, which is really all your front sight is, just a small sight post. The sights aren't adjustable, however they are actually painted rather nicely. I'm surprised HFC or TSD, whichever one did this, took the time to go ahead and paint the nice bright white dots on all 3 of the sight posts on this weapon. I always like it when companies take the time to add those small details, because it shows that, hey, they actually do care about their product. Overall, the iron sights in this weapon are quite nice, and really, they're what you're stuck with, being that you can't put a scope on this little pistol. Alright, now being that the HFC USP is a pistol, we've basically covered all the features, so let's go ahead and hop into the final conclusion, my final recommendation on this gun. Let's start off with the things I didn't care for, and the biggest con on this gun to me is its magazine. I don't care for the fact that it's already leaking, and I hate the magazine lips. I always hate it when they make them out of plastic, and of course they made them out of plastic on this mag. Exactly why they are cracked, broken, and the gun is unable of actually feeding BBs into it. That sucks. Luckily the parts are available so I can go ahead and fix this. I just really wish the magazine lips were made of metal. Then I wouldn't have to worry about this problem in the first place. So the major con of this thing, if you're buying it, Keep an eye on those mag lips. You may want to stock up a few spare ones because I imagine that these will crack eventually. After all, I got 2 magazines with this gun and both the lips were cracked, so it's not just a fluke on the one mag. The mag holds 18 rounds, which is a decent capacity, but if you do get addicted to shooting the full auto, which is something I like the gun's capable of, that'll run out rather quickly. The full auto is a lot of fun to shoot. If you haven't owned a full auto pistol before, they are a lot of fun to shoot. This gun has a nice amount of blowback coming back, as you saw in the slow motion clips there, and it certainly does have a little bit of kick to it. But more than anything, it's a lot of fun to shoot and actually has a pretty nice performance on it. Overall, my final conclusion for this gun is that really anybody can pick it up. It's an affordable pistol, might be good for, say, a sniper or somebody who wants a solid backup capable of the full auto that they can get for a fairly cheap price. It's a fairly lightweight pistol and overall a very comfortable gun for those of us with smaller or medium-sized hands, such as myself. It fits in there rather nicely and is overall a good quality pistol for $73. The main con, though, that mag. I hate those mag lips. But otherwise, guys, it's a pretty darn nice gun. If you're interested, link down below in the description to airsoftstation.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.